G'day and welcome to this week's FriBaT, Friday Beers and Tools with Andy. Been off for a couple of weeks with a little bit of eye surgery and nose surgery. I still sound a bit nasally at the moment, but hopefully that gets rectified very soon. Feeling a bit better, so decided to try and get a FriBaT churned out for you for this Friday. Righto, on to our beer for the week. This week we have another boutique-y type beer called the Ballistic Beer Company Hawaiian Haze Pale Ale. Now the Ballistic Beer Company was started up in Salisbury in South Australia, and they have chosen to name the company Ballistic Beer in respect to the Salisbury community, which has a large ex-army World War II community and history. And so this is the first of their beers that I'm trying, and this is their Hawaiian Haze DDH Pale. Happy Friday. Hazy Pale Ale. Don't know whether I've had a hazy pale ale before. Alright, what do they say about it? Ballistic's, the Hawaiian Haze DDH Pale is Ballistic's take on the hazy pale ale. It was brewed to quench your thirst, a hop-driven flavour explosion that screams, "Drink me." Juicy aromas effortlessly overlay the fluffy mouthfeel and clean finish. I love the way they describe this stuff. Very hoppy, and those that know my palate don't know that I don't like very hoppy beers, but this is not overtly so. It's actually quite reasonable. Very citric, very citrusy, and even a bit sort of pineapple-y. Apparently the hops used in it are Citra, Rakow, Pacifica and Mosaic, for those that are interested in that sort of information. It is a 4.6% alcohol beer, so 1.4 standard drinks in a standard can or stubby. It's not bad. I like pale ales. Hazy pale ale, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with it. I guess that's more hoppy. But not, as I said, not overtly so. It's actually quite reasonable still. It's not a bad drinking beer. I'm going to give that one, out of my Spanner scale, I'm going to give that a solid 3.5 Spanners out of 5. Righto, on to this week's tool review. I've got a little bit of a comparison tool review today. My old welding helmet, my faithful old Lincoln Electric. I do like buying good quality products, especially when it comes to safety. Has given up the ghost. Second set of batteries needs replacing. They're not easily user replaceable. I'll show you a little bit of that in a second. And there are a few other shortcomings of this style of helmet compared to some of the more modern ones. First one being is the viewing area. It's a little bit hard to see on the camera, but the very top section of the lens here is the solar panel, and then the lower part is the actual viewing area. So really it's only a relatively small size. Dimensions of the actual viewing area are only 50 by 110. So it's a fairly narrow viewing area that you get whilst you're welding. There's nothing wrong with the helmet, it actually works fine. Well, this one doesn't because the batteries are dead, but it can also be used for grinding. It's got a variable sensitivity, or sorry, variable darkness setting on the side here, and inside the helmet, a little bit hard to see there, it has sensitivity and time delay. I hope, because I'm getting old, I also have put a magnifying, what do you call it, lens in the front of this one, which goes in front of the actual sensor unit but behind this plastic replaceable screen, and that makes it much easier. I don't have to wear my glasses whilst I'm welding, which makes it much easier to see what I'm doing. Like I said, this is a great helmet. It has now been superseded by a new version, the Lincoln Electric K3495-21740. The hood itself looks exactly the same, different paint job, but the sensor and the solar panel are slightly different, but the actual size of the window hasn't changed, and they currently retail for about $180 odd. I will be fixing this one. Stand by, I'll just pull out the unit and show you where the batteries go. Okay, to remove the unit from these type of helmets is just a clip on the inside of the back, undo a nut off the adjuster, and then the whole unit comes out. I've already had this apart. They do take a little bit of fiddling to get apart. As I said, they're not designed as a user replaceable battery unit. You actually have to Dremel cut very, very carefully along this plastic welded edge, and then once you do that, these two little adjusters come off the front, and then the front section comes off, and there's your two batteries. These are, you can buy them with the soldering tags already attached to them, welded onto them, but they're very, very expensive that way. To be able to buy the batteries, if you've got an ability to weld these tags on and you can't be soldered onto a battery as it damages the battery, then that's a relatively cheap way to replace it, and then it's just a matter of desoldering. I think it's two points on each battery, and then everything will work again. So I'll do that down the track. This will become my backup unit, because I've purchased a new unit. Got a little bit sick of the oh, that's the magnifying unit. That's a 2x magnifier that I purchased for this helmet, which is very handy, and that just goes in front of the unit there like that when it's all assembled. Alright, so what have I replaced it with? Well, Amazon, amazingly. We have a Techwear, so it's not really it's not a name brand at all like Lincoln or Miller or anything like that. Techwear True Color Large View Auto Darkening Welding Grinding Helmet. Alright, what's in the box? Let's get her out. As you'd expect, a welding helmet, a cover, okay. Firstly, comes with a protective bag, just keeps the dust off the helmet. That's quite handy. The Lincoln did come with that as well. First thing you notice is the size of the screen. For starters, it has a massive viewing area, and in fact has side windows which enable you to see more peripherally on the job. But if I can show you through the opening, the size of the viewing window on this unit is a little bit hard to see in that light, is actually the whole size of the screen. So it's pretty much double the size of the viewing window in the Lincoln. Also in the box, it comes with 3 replacement protective front visors, and that's really handy because they do get pitted and damaged over time when welding or grinding. Also in the box comes with the obligatory instructions, a couple of extra protective internal glasses. Again, you get some wear and damage on the inside of these, so that protects the actual face of the unit inside. And they also provide you with a replacement battery. Now these helmets are solar powered. This one has a small solar array at the top here for charging, and that maintains the battery, but it will, over time, the battery will go flat. Now, one of the impressive things, and this is going to be a little bit hard for me to film, so I'll see how we go here. Inside here you can see that, you can see the fan above us. That's not real flash. You can see that it's got the adjustable sensitivity and time delay as per the Lincoln. It also has a test button, which is particularly handy, because one thing the Lincoln didn't have, and I got flashed a few times when the battery went flat, is it doesn't tell you when the battery's flat and it's not going to work. So when you start welding, you get a bit of flash, and after a couple of times you'll go, that's not working the way it should be. So this one has a test button in there. When you push the test button, the screen actually darkens, so you know that it's working straight away. And it has a usable changeable battery up here. You still have to remove the unit from inside the hood to be able to do it, but it's just a little battery door to be able to change out this single larger battery, which is a get the right light, a CR 2450. Right, so big benefits. First off, the viewing size of the screen is double. That makes a huge difference when you're welding, because when you're only looking through a relatively small opening, you're not seeing the full picture. This gives you much better vision. It has the standard darkening adjustment on the side, but interestingly, this one has no on-off switch, so it must automatically shut itself down to prevent the battery from discharging. It is solar powered with a replaceable battery, as I said. True Color technology preserves the existing 1112 optical clarity, and it has 4 arc sensors, so 4 sensors that are picking up on when the arc actually strikes. Lens darkening reaction is 1/10,000th of a second, which is perfect for MIG welding and TIG welding. It has variable shade of 4 to 5, 9 to 9, and 13, and variable sensitivity and delay controls, as I mentioned, inside. Lightweight. All of these polycarbonate helmets are nice and lightweight nowadays. It only weighs half a kilo, so they're comfortable to wear long periods. It's a little bit lighter than the old Lincoln one, but again, it was never fatiguing. It was lightweight as well. Right, so what's this beast worth? When I purchased it on Amazon, it was free delivery. At the moment, it's currently sitting at $113 plus $42.85 delivery. Now that delivery might be cheaper for you in your area. These are Australian prices, of course, as well. But that's comparable in price to the replacement Lincoln electric helmet. So far I haven't used it, but so far I'm impressed with its features and its build quality. It's every bit as good build quality as the Lincoln, and it meets all of the required standards. So I'm looking forward to the larger viewing area. One thing I didn't point out was the larger viewing area. I thought perhaps there would be magnifying lenses available for that larger viewing area. However, the smaller magnifying lenses do actually fit in to the center. Again, it's a little bit hard for me to show you. Okay, it takes a little bit of fiddling, but the magnifying lens actually does click into place there and is variable for its position, where it is on the screen. does defeat a little bit of the usefulness of the larger screen. I guess, however, I can wear my glasses inside here and be able to see the whole size of the screen. But perhaps somebody will come out with a larger viewing area. Just to give you an idea of the viewing area, size-wise, it is 190 millimeters by, a bit hard to measure that one. What's it say on the specs? 3.94 inches by 3.23 inches on the specs, which I'll put up here, what that is in mils. Anyway, it's double the standard. In fact, you can see if I put the Lincoln one up there, you can see the difference in viewing areas straight away. So that's the TechWear 3.0 large viewing area helmet. So far, very impressed with it for the price. I'll put a link to it in the description. Those of you that might have noticed, I've now become part of the Amazon affiliate program. So when you click on my link to go to Amazon to purchase a product, I get a small kickback from that. It doesn't affect the cost. You pay exactly the same price as what you pay normally on Amazon. So please use that when you can, and that helps the channel a little bit with growing as well. So yeah, so that's the new welding helmet. Tell us what you think in the description. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. For similar money, much better features than the older helmet, much better viewing area. I'm keen to give it a go. Anyway, that's it for now. Better give you a rating on it, hey? Value for money. It's around the same price as an auto darkening helmet purchasable in Australian tool shops, so it's reasonable value for money. Let's give it a 3 out of 5 beers for value for money. Probably could have been cheaper, but then again, better technology, larger viewing area, larger screen that has to be darkened. So value for money, yeah, not bad. 3.5, let's say 3.5. For functionality, because of that larger screen and the fact that you've got much more peripheral vision around the helmet, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for functionality. I will be doing another video at a later stage adding an LED light to the front, because that is one thing that I've found a lot of welding helmets, especially when you're up in tight dark spots, very difficult to see. Although these are very clear now, the auto darkening helmets are very clear. Having some sort of LED light shining on your weld area makes a big difference to your ability to see what you're doing properly. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for functionality. Anyway, that's it for this week's FriBaT. As you can see, I'm slowly recovering from my eye surgery and my nose surgery. A little bit more to go back and see the surgeon tomorrow. Get a couple of stents. I sound a bit nasally at the moment. Stents out of my nose, which is really going to be great, allowing me to breathe properly again. And I hope to have more content for you coming up. We're deep in the wet season here in the Northern Territory. It's the best wet season we've had for quite a few years. So getting outside and doing things, well, I couldn't lately with the surgery, but the weather's kind of put a bit of dampener on that, literally. And I have nowhere to work undercover outside, so hopefully get some more content coming for you very soon. And thanks very much for watching. Cheers.